Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. So this is actually my first video ever. This is something new I'm trying, so please bear with me until I get all the stuff sorted out. I've never really filmed any YouTube videos before, but it's just something that I've always thought about doing. I've always watched like other YouTubers and other automotive YouTubers more specifically, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. So I've always been a huge car enthusiast, and I've always wanted to get into YouTube, and now I picked up a new build, and I was figuring it's something cool that we can showcase and go through together, and I'll show some of my talents and some of my techniques, and hopefully learn from everyone in the comments. So starting off a little bit about me, I figured I'd give a brief introduction before we get right into it. So I've always been a car enthusiast my entire life, as far as I can remember, ever since I was young. I've always been into cars. A few of my prior cars have been like, I had a Mark 6 GTI, which was APR Stage 2. I picked up a 2001 Chevy S10 because my Mark 6 GTI, which I bought brand new, was always giving me issues just due to the tuning and all that. And then after that, I owned a S2000. And most recently, I just picked up a new build, which I'll walk you guys through here in a minute. But I just wanted to briefly just tell about my old cars and stuff. So my first car ever was actually a Honda CR-V, which was actually passed down from my parents. I love that thing. It was a 2006 special edition black Honda CR-V. It was one of the best cars a high schooler can ever have. It had so much room for activities, throw your friends in the back, go out, go to the beach. There was like a little picnic table in the back. It was just an awesome all-around car. But being a car enthusiast, I wanted something a little more fun, a little more day-to-day. And I figured the best thing without losing practicality was the Mark 6 GTI at that time. It was brand new, and I think I was like 18 or 19. I picked that car up brand new from the dealership. My dad wasn't super happy. He didn't want me having a manual car. But I was like, this is something I've always wanted. I was actually in the market for a Subaru WRX or a Honda Civic Si at that time. Because I've always been into the Japanese cars. I just think they're super reliable, super well made, and fun cars. But I actually got a real appreciation for the European cars after the GTI. So I picked that up. And I mean, at that time, I was just a college kid trying to make ends meet. I was working at JCPenney. I had just bought this car brand new because I didn't want it to have any breakdowns, etc. Just wanted to get to college. I commuted. I wanted to get there in one piece, get back home in one piece, and just graduate, and then move on to bigger things. So picked up a 2011 Volkswagen GTI, white, 4-door, 6-speed base model. It was probably the best car and the most fun car I've ever had. And I think the reason for that was, I didn't have much money. I was in college. I was working at JCPenney. I worked countless hours just to do like the smallest mod, and I would get so much enjoyment because literally I didn't know what I was doing. I would literally buy a piece, go on the internet, go on the forums at that time. Not everyone was on Facebook, so you go on forums, do all this research, and then I would go to car shows, and it was awesome. It was just a great time. I learned so much with that car. But as I started putting more money into it, it started breaking down. Like water pumps was a huge thing with those cars. They broke down all the time. And then eventually, once I went stage 2, my clutch was pretty much ruined. So then what happened was my parents were out looking for a house. They knew an older gentleman, and he was selling his house. And he was like, he had a Chevy S10. I think it was a 2000 in the driveway. And he picked it up. And he was moving to Florida, and he actually decided to let it go. So I was like, hey, it was a 5-speed rear-wheel drive, completely base model. And he was like, hey, I'll sell you this for $2,000. And I was like, you know what, the GTI, it's just, some days it's undrivable, it's always broken, let me pick this up. So I picked it up, and man, it was 40,000 miles, awesome car. I drove the hell out of that car. And then after that, I moved to New York City. I had sold my cars. Always been a car enthusiast, but I had no need for a car living in the city. So I sold them. And then some things happened, some personal stuff, and I moved back to New Jersey. Once I moved back to New Jersey, I was still working in the city, so I really didn't need like a daily. So I figured, now it's a great opportunity to pick up a car that I've always wanted, one of my dream cars, and it was a 2002 Honda S2000. Immaculate conditions, 83,000 miles I think were on the dash. And then unfortunately one night I was driving, and I lost control. It was raining, and the car spun out, and it got into an accident. So fast forward about 2 years later now I actually need a daily car, so I actually picked up a brand new car, which is why I'm starting this YouTube channel, to document that. And I'm not really doing it for to get gratification from others, or to become famous or anything. It's just really I want to document this for my own self and just see where I put this build, get advice and help from you guys in the comments, and just really showcase this car. It's a special car. I feel like there's not much content on YouTube on this car, so I figured let's go for it. Let's start a channel and see where it can go. I'll have more cars in the future, as any other car guys does. It's just a non-stop endless money pit that you go down. So let me walk you through my latest build. I won't tell you guys, I'll show you guys, and then we can talk through it. And it's actually a pretty cool story how this happened, so let's get right into it. Alright guys, so enough talking, and let's get right into it. So let me start off showing my latest build. So it is a Honda, as you can see, and any of you Honda guys, this is the last generation of the Honda Key, so it's not a newer Honda. So starting right into it, this is my latest build. I just actually recently picked this up, and it's a pretty cool story. I actually really needed a new daily driver, and this actually popped on the market, and let me walk you through it. So this is actually a car that I've always wanted since I was in high school, and luckily this is the final piece to my missing puzzle. I always wanted 3 Hondas when I was in high school. This was one of them, a Honda Civic Si, the 8th gen in particular, coupe or sedan. I didn't really have a preference. The other one, which I actually have the pleasure of owning, is a 8th gen Accord coupe V6 EXL with the Navi. And then the third one, which was a Honda S2000, which I actually had a 2002 AP1 in silver, or a metallic gray, or whatever the color was. So getting right into this, starting off, so this is a 2008 Honda Civic Mugen Si. And as you can see, it is a little beat up, but that's the whole point of this channel, to walk you through my build. And I guess a little bit about this car. So this car was actually listed on Facebook in Cleveland, Ohio, and as you can tell, we're in New Jersey. So it was actually listed on a Friday, and I was on my way on Saturday to look at a 2006 Civic Si in blue coupe. It was supercharged, it was bagged, went to Long Island. The deal didn't work out, actually. So I messaged a guy on Facebook on Friday. I was like, hey, can I pick this car up from you? I'm interested, I want to check it out. And he was like, hey dude, I'm getting a lot of interest, as it should be. These cars are pretty rare. And he was like, hey, if you can come out, it's yours. Otherwise, I have people coming to look at it. I have 2 people actually lined up looking for it in the next hour. So I was like, all right, whatever. You know what? I can't make it to Cleveland in the next hour, so let them see it. If they don't buy it, I'll come down next weekend. And I knew the car wasn't going to last till next weekend. But I messaged him, and I was like, you know what? Anyone buying this? He was like, hey, I got a $500 deposit. Yeah, so he got a deposit for $500, and I was like, oh, great, whatever, it's gone. So I messaged him later. I'm like, hey, did the guy buy the car? He's like, no, his wife isn't letting him buy the car. So I was like, okay, cool. I can come next week if that works. And he was like, you know what, I have other people lined up. I was like, all right, whatever, cool. So I go to Long Island, I check out the car, the Civic Si Coupe, and the deal didn't work out over there. So then I messaged this guy again. I'm like, hey, any update? He's like, hey, another guy came, he gave me a $2,000 deposit. So now at this point, it's Sunday, and I'm like, hey, dude, I can show up tomorrow, and I'll give you whatever you want, asking, and will you let the other guy know that, hey, I got someone else to buy it? So he was like, look, if you can come tomorrow, it's yours. So me and my sister, we were gonna go wake up early, drive to Cleveland. And I woke up early, and I was just so tired, and I was like, great, this is not gonna happen. So then I was like, you know what, let's look for a last minute flight, one way. So I was at the point of no return. Had the car not checked out well, I would have had to buy another one-way ticket, and the tickets were actually $300 one way from New Jersey to Cleveland, Ohio. So Joe got a ticket on United, signed up for like a credit card. I was approved. It was $250 off. Then I go back to my cart, and now the flight's $800 one way. So then I was like, oh great, what the hell? So then I book another flight through American, going out of LaGuardia, signed up for a credit card. Again, it was also $300. They gave me $200 off with a credit card. And you know, I got on the flight, got there. The guy was nice enough to pick me up. I gave him the cash, and I drove this 9 hours. I just made sure the oil was okay, and I said, hey man, just give me the honest truth. Will this car make it? He's like, yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. It just needs new brakes, new tires. And the only thing I did was I checked the oil. Drove it 9 hours, got home, and here it is. So let's get right through it. I guess just starting with some issues that I see. The tint is bubbling, so I'll definitely do a video on removing that. As you can tell, this is a Mugen. So these are pretty rare. Only 1,000 were made in 2008, and some of them are probably beat to hell or destroyed, or wrecked. So I'm guessing there's probably about 600 to 700 remaining. Another thing that I got work on is polishing this out. The exhaust tip is a little rusty. I guess that's what you get from buying a car in the Midwest. And another thing I don't really get is usually this has like no gap over here. And usually the muffler sits a little lower and sticks out a little bit more. But nothing really alarming over here. Yeah, no real marks on the back bumper, nothing. So super clean over there. Taking a look at the wheels, obviously there is curb rash, which I'll work to get replaced. The tires are a little old, so you can see they're a little dry rotted, which I'll get updated. I'm gonna get this buffed out over here, and then you can see some of the paint is peeling. This car has had a respray, but I'm guessing it was just not the best respray, so I'm definitely gonna get that fixed. Tinted windows, we got some peeling over here. And then one of the other things is the mirrors don't work. He was saying that when he painted the car, he never connected the mirrors, so you move it by hand, which I'll get fixed. But overall, the car's actually in pretty good condition. All the wheels have curb rash. One of the things he did tell me was the car's been painted, but it has all these rock chips. So I'm gonna maybe get a respray on the front end. Most of the car is not too bad. The headlights are yellow, so I'm definitely gonna work on getting those updated, and I'll show you guys how to do that. I'm gonna do a full restoration, sand them out, buff them. The front lip, again, a lot of rock chips, but it's looking good. The one thing that these cars have an issue with is that the clear coat fades, and then there's usually like paint fade all around. There's actually a factory issue. It does need new tires, as I mentioned. Like this one's losing air. I'm gonna have to see if it's the valve or there's a nail, or hopefully the wheel's not bent, but I did drive in 9 hours, so no issues there. We have some peeling over here, so maybe when I ask for full respray of the front, they'll get that taken care of. But yeah, I mean, overall, the car is actually in pretty good condition. No peeling on this side. It is missing the VTEC sticker in the back, the decal. And yeah, tire looks well over here. The brakes, he said they are actually pretty new, but he had the car sitting for about 2 years, so they're pretty rusted. I was driving this car super slow and careful from Ohio to New Jersey, but yeah, I mean, overall the car it's pretty much perfect for my needs. Looking at the trunk, it is lowered. I think he was telling me there's KYB coilover on it, so it comes with the original Mugen struts, which are great. It does have the donut, and everything looks to be intact over here. So overall, it's pretty clean for what is a 16-year-old Honda. I think that's the right math, or 14. It is missing the floor mats in the back, but seats overall look good. No fading back here, which is a common issue. One of the things that actually stuck out was there's no headliner sag, which is pretty normal in these cars. But we'll get everything sorted out, get it all dialed in. Another thing over here was it does have rubber floor mats which say Civic, which is pretty nice. One of the things is the door doesn't stay open, so I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Maybe it's something to do with this. I'm not entirely sure. But you know, this is it. There is a little of the weather stripping that's coming off, but I mean, overall the car's pretty clean. Has 127,000 miles. I actually bought it with, I think, 126,500, and then the drive over here. But let's start up. Stick shift. It does take a little bit to start up, so I'm guessing the battery's a little old, but it's pretty cool. It says Mugen when you start up. Nice and clean. Overall, it is actually a pretty clean car and a pretty good pickup. Over here, you can see it did come with these Mugen stickers. And then let's pop the hood. Let's show you guys. The car's actually pretty relatively stock. It is a little loud. I guess that's the Mugen Sport exhaust. And then taking a look under the hood, there it is, the K20. Overall, super clean. No real issues. One of the things I do want to get is the clip that holds the pop strut open. It says Honda over here, but I don't know if it is actually tuned or not. Usually these have VTEC kick in around 4,500, I think, if they're tuned. But this does kick in around 65, I think. So if anyone knows when VTEC should kick in stock, if they can let me know. It has this red Honda JDM logo. But yeah, I mean, everything works as it should. Windows work, all four. Sunroof works over here. And then the other thing that only doesn't work, which might have to do the same with the window, the side window's not working. The front speakers don't work. So I'll probably just have to pop up the door panel and take a look over there. There is a TPMS light. So I guess he was telling me that one of the valves has gone bad, so I'll get that replaced. I'm definitely probably gonna take these tints off. I have tints on my 8th gen Accord, and again, like, it's so hard to see late at night. So maybe I'll just remove that and go full fishbowl. But yeah, overall, really happy with my purchase, and I'm excited to walk you guys through what I plan on doing with this car. And then lastly, I just want to apologize to the owner that had put a deposit on this car. I'm sorry. I know you had the $2,000 deposit put. My man, this is something that I've always wanted, and if you want to get the job done, you gotta get it done on time. You pull the trigger right then and there, and you get it over with. But yeah, I mean, overall, really cool car. It's fun. I'm looking forward to it. I gotta get it registered and insured and everything. It's actually impossible to get like a DMV appointment in New Jersey. I was looking, and some of the DMVs in New Jersey have 3-week waits. So I'll let you guys know when that happens, but a lot of things to happen. I'm gonna show you guys how to do a full brake replacement, rotors, pads. I might do the stainless steel braided lines, color the calipers, bleed the entire system. I'm definitely going to show you guys how to do an oil change. I'm sure all these videos are there, but you know, it's just for me to document all the work that I do. I'm going to show you guys a full interior detail, and you know, just take the car out. And yeah, we'll go from there. It should be a pretty fun time. I'm looking forward to learning from you guys in the comments, and showing you guys, you know, some tricks that I know, because I do work on cars. I do know a little bit about cars, and I do detail cars as well. I don't detail for money. I detail my own cars. So, you know, it'll be good. We'll have fun. All right, guys. So thank you.